spring ephemerals time. Hey everyone, I'm Kit. This week I'm doing a solo overnight trip at Cooke State Park, just south of Duluth, Minnesota. It's going to be pretty windy for this trip, so I'm going to be having to pay more attention to a good tight pitch and a sheltered spot with my campsite. It's going to be about a 2-mile hike out from my trailhead to the Silver Creek campsite that I have reserved. Spring still feels a little unreal, but I'm looking forward to getting out and enjoying an even balmier version of it as a tiny treat to myself for my birthday. Okay, it's a little before 1:30 p.m. and I did find the scale and weighed in. I'm at a pack weight starting out of 28 pounds, which feels very light comparatively. So, not that I need to rush down the trail, but I certainly have some energy to get going. It's spring ephemerals time. Made it about 3/4 of a mile in about half an hour, even with all the stopping to film. So, yeah, pack weight definitely affects my speed, and probably also it being relatively flat here. A little bit of climb to get to this point, and a tiny bit more climb before I get to the top of the ridge, but not too much, and much smoother trail surface. It's all been wide, flat, mowed or graveled. No real rooty, rocky climbiness except for that tiny little piece to hop up from the swinging bridge to the trail network on the other side of the river. The park was much more crowded right around the swinging bridge area and all the adjacent views of the river. So I'd been a little, not worried, but apprehensive about how crowded the rest of it might be and how private my camping situation might be. But the minute I got more than like a 1/4 mile away from the bridge, everyone just evaporated. So getting a very peaceful time in this open sunny woods. We're at the high point of the hike. Looks like I'm most of the way there. Very early in the day, but that just lets me look shirty. Deeply suspicious bridge. I do not think that thing's max load is 10,000 pounds anymore. But it's the way I need to go and there's no better crossing, so I'm just gonna take it gingerly, I guess. Given how much maintenance I've seen on the trail, they would have marked this off if they genuinely didn't want people crossing. Let's camp. Even slowing down to not smell as much, but video the flowers. It took me only an hour and a half to do that 2 miles with more repeated little ups and downs than I had entirely counted on. The campsite is lovely. I have 2 tables again for some reason. And then the classic fire ring, bear box, and latrine. But yeah, I'm here so early that I can really take my time lazing around camp, getting everything set up just the way I want. Although I want to double check when the chance for rain this evening was, so that I have at least my tarp up. All right, I have rested and snacked. The clouds have moved in. Time to start making camp. I've pitched it pretty low and especially tight at the foot end in the direction the wind's going to be. But after the rain's done, if the wind hasn't been super high, I might flip it half back just because it is a very tight pitch. And if it's a nice night, I'd like to be able to enjoy some more air. That's tricky, but accessible, barely. I'm going to be reporting that, I think, to the park office when I go back tomorrow. This trip, I'm getting to test a new toy I got as an early birthday present this morning from Turtle. It is a Schwarzebina hammock table with a little storage bag. And this will be very nice for breakfast in the hammock tomorrow. I've flipped the tarp back, but left the stakes in place for now, just so I have a little more air and light moving around and getting things set up. But the system is all set so that if it starts raining, I can just very quickly get that half of the tarp back up and over. It's cooled off pretty quickly after the clouds rolled in. It's just about 5 now. It's just cool and dim and mostly quiet, other than passing planes, occasional bird sounds, and a nice trickling creek. I did enjoy camping by the river, but it was very loud compared to something like this. Just after 5:30, and here finally come some drips of rain. Not quite hungry yet, so I'm gonna just tuck up in the hammock for now, but I'll tidy stuff up. You might be tempted to think that being stuck in the hammock in the rain is boring or depressing or not what I wanted, but honestly, I can't see the woods from here, but I got to enjoy them hiking in my first couple hours in camp. And I can hear the raindrops and smell the wet dirt and tree bark, and it's just so peaceful. And that's one of the primary things I do backpacking for, is to experience these kinds of uncomplicated moments. And this is a good one. Alright, time to try yet another new meal. Doing Mountain House chicken fried rice. Dinner was tasty. The rain lightened up just a touch long enough for me to brush my teeth and take my meds without issue. I am now in my woolies and tucked into the hammock, and it is just after 9 p.m. There's still intermittent sprinkling hitting the tarp, but it sounds like I am in a very well-sheltered spot, so none of the wind I was concerned about seems like it's going to be showing up. Let's hope I'm not proven wrong in the middle of the night. Good morning, folks. It is time for breakfast in the hammock. My little table is exceptionally convenient, which is nice to add to the list of things that are going well this morning. I have a beautiful view back up in the direction towards the trail, but perfectly screened by young, glittering dewy woods. I have a lovely table upon which to set my hot cocoa and my breakfast snacks. I had a pretty good night of sleep. What I unfortunately do not have is instant coffee because I just failed to make the time to get more, or very much stove fuel, so I'm probably relying on eating my packaged ready-to-eat stuff for the rest of today. Things that I have that I wish I didn't, it would be migraine. So I'm just going to kind of take it easy through my morning here at camp because it's not even 9 a.m. yet, and then slowly pack up and make my way back out of here because there's going to be climbing all the way back up out of the valley. All right, I've got camp about half packed. I've filtered water. I'm taking another break in my stripped down breezy hammock setting. And then we'll do the final push of pack up and get out. I did have two very nice ladies come in to the campsite looking for a place to stop and have lunch, and I said that was fine. We had a nice conversation. They did have a weather update that the projected high for today is now 80, so big difference from my last trip, and that just encourages me even more to take it easy in getting ready and getting out because I do not want to overdo it with a migraine. Okay, I think we're good. Pretty much as soon as I was out from my sheltered little camp area, I started feeling the wind gusts when they come. So I'm glad I had that extremely sheltered camp because that made it a much more peaceful night. But it's also super nice to be feeling those gusts as hot as it is right now. Nature's built it right. All right. Oh, that last climb was steep, but I've gained the ridge. Highest point of the hike again. A little over half a mile, I think, to the trailhead. I'm gonna keep taking it easy, but I finally feel like I've gotten somewhere. Hello, beloved car. And that's that. In the end, my tracker marked about 4.8 miles. I'm impressed with how good I feel after what is definitely the longest trip I've taken so far this year. This is a lovely state park. It is definitely the busiest of the ones that I've been to so far. Some of that might be seasonal though, as it is fully in heavy spring growth, but almost an early summer feel to the weather. Definitely want to take people back to this site because it had multiple possible hammock hang spots, but was also just beautifully sheltered from weather. I'd also like to check out the other sites at this park at some point. In terms of what I want to improve, I think I want to work a little bit on my packing lists. I've gotten confident enough that I'm beginning to notice where I make mistakes out of overconfidence, like forgetting my coffee or not double checking my fuel. I didn't run into any real problems on this trip because it was so short, but if I made that kind of mistake on a more daring trip, it could cause some issues. For right now, though, I am quite tired and very ready for a shower and then post-hike meal. Time to get rolling.